Welcome to the Private Label Masters YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, let me introduce myself. My name's Tim. I'm an Amazon private label seller. In the last 12 months, I just hit $10 million in gross sales. Everything on this channel has to do with selling private label products, your own physical product brands, imported oftentimes overseas onto Amazon, where you can sell it and make a ton of money, all right? And I'm here to help you on your journey. And so remember, in this Q&A, there is no dumb question, all right? I don't care if you say, what is Jungle Scout? What does BSR stand for? Any of that. I will answer it. I'll take care of you guys, all right? I remember when I was brand new, I started with one product just like every single one of you and every single other seller. And over time, I grew it. Now, here's a saying I want you guys to keep in mind. Start small, think big, scale fast. That's exactly the formula that I did. I started with one product. I thought big. I was thinking, you know what? This opportunity is crazy. I'm gonna find a way to take advantage of it. And then I scaled fast. I found any way possible to source more products. I didn't care if I was using a credit card. I didn't care if I was getting a loan. Just a little more personal information about my business. I pulled out a $228,000 Amazon loan last year. I only have one more payment on that and it's completely paid off. Amazon right now is currently offering me a $1 million loan if I want to accept it. Right now, I'm not going to do that. And beyond that, after that loan's paid off, I have a $100,000 loan that I have revolving to help me scale my business. And then I maximize credit cards, all right? I pay them off every single month, but I only pay enough to really leverage that money, and so I don't have to pay fees. So, again, that being said, I'm here to help you guys. Fire your questions in the chat box, and I can't promise you I have the answers to everything, but I'll do my best, and if I don't know, I will tell you I don't know it, all right? So let's see what we got here. So today, I like to do this when I do a live stream, so at the time right now, I'm at 19,000 in sales, 703 items ordered. Remind me at the end of the live stream, and I will show you what that has grown to. And in regards to profit, so far I'm at 4,000 profit so far today. So I'll refresh that too. All right, so the way I like to do these live streams is first come, first serve. So write your questions in the chat box. I'm gonna go through them. Hopefully I'll get to every single one of you guys' questions in the allotted time. And hopefully I can provide you some value. I remember being brand new and I used to wait for these other guys who had channels and who had knowledge to answer my questions. Sometimes they did, sometimes they didn't, but when they did, oh, it made my day. So I hope I can do that for you guys too. All right, and we're gonna be doing some giveaways in here, all right? We're gonna be doing some giveaways. And some people probably say like, I want some monetary giveaway, but I'm giving you something better. I'm giving you guys some knowledge as the giveaway. So I'm gonna give out a few of these during the live stream. What is it? This book that I always talk about, Slight Edge. All right, if you answer certain things first or correctly, I'll either send you the audiobook version, the Kindle version, or actually the hard copy. If you're in the US, you can get the hard copy. If you're out of country, you're getting the Kindle or the audiobook, all right? So I'm gonna be giving away a few of these. You just gotta answer a question, all right? So let's see here. We let me say what's up to everybody out here. All right, we got MOSP, what's up? Keen, live stream number 2, that's right. We got it yesterday. Bill, another great student. You guys are calling from Australia. Christopher Yu from Chicago. Ireland. I would love to go to Ireland. Go Raptors. You're killing me, bro. You're killing me. Mason from California. I'm from California too. That's where I'm at right now. Utah. Hope you're doing well. My favorite FBA seller. Thanks, Michael. How's Utah? Tanner from Belgium. Woo, Belgium. Somewhere on that map. Not exactly sure. Venice, Italy. Washington State. Mike me, yeah, LLC. Let me look smart. Let me get on the spectacles. All right, now let's talk Amazon. Here we go. Let's look at our first question. On a brand new product, how do you prioritize launch keywords and rank for 10 to 15 words in a short period short time? Launch after launch? Great question. So let me see here. So typically I prioritize, 1 to 3 keywords at the beginning. There's 2 schools of thought with this. You go after long tails slowly and go that way. That's kind of like the cheaper route, and you can kind of like gradually scale up going after long tails. Or you go after some of the, short keywords that have a lot more search, and you just power your way up through. Now I've done both. Both work effectively. One, you get there a little faster typically when you target just a couple and you go crazy at it. But what you're gonna find is that if your listing is optimized for a lot of different keywords, a lot of different keyword phrases, even if you're ranked well for just one keyword that gets quite a few sales, if you just be patient, you will organically start ranking for more. Okay, even if they're clicking on PPC for one keyword, your entire listing is going to get a boost. Okay, so I don't go like, okay, targeted that one, went after it, targeted that one, went after it, targeted that one, ranked for that one. I usually do like 3 to 5 max, and then after I rank for a couple of those good ones, over time organically I will start ranking for the others. Okay, so that's what I recommend for you. Let's look at our next question. David C. Hey Tim, I'm currently selling books to build up capital. 2, so I can start private label. Congrats, man. And way to start out the hustle. Should I focus more on quick flips to get capital or try to squeeze out more profit per book I sell? So I would do a mixture of the two. If you need cash flow, right, then start filing out some books real quick. But if you're not like hurting for cash, then try to get as much profit as you can. Right? But then once to the point you're like, oh, I need some more cash, then I'm gonna fly out some books. But I always optimize for profit. And unless I'm having a cash flow crunch, then I'll fly some things out. Okay. So some products, especially if you're doing books, right, you'll notice like some go quickly. If you have like 1,000 of a book, which you probably don't, I'm guessing you're just doing used onesie twosies, you can like fly out the first half of it and then like the second half slowly scale out of it, taper out of it. But that's what I would do. Pay attention to your cash flow. If you don't have cash flow issues and your products are continually selling, then get the most money out of it. All right. Joey, what's up, Tim? Caught yesterday's live stream replay. It was fire. Right on, bro. Joey is a student in the group. Joey had taken 2 other courses before mine, and they were no good. Now he's in mine, and I think he had his first product, and I think he profited almost over $3,000 this first month. So congrats to Joey. If the stream lags a little bit, it's the best I can do. Let's see here. Hi Tim, do you still do product launches with PPC and no reviews? For sure. My mindset is like this, right? If you have a good product that's differentiated well, priced well, and a beautiful listing, then people would be a fool not to buy yours, even if you had 0 reviews. Now, there are the type of shoppers, I can be that way sometimes, where I mainly are, the reviews kind of will sway me, but if it's an amazing product and it's a good price and all that stuff, you will get people wanting to buy it. The market will tell you that you're correct, and then once you get reviews, it'll really start snowballing. So yes, I still do PPC without reviews right from the get-go. I did a YouTube video on this like over a year ago, and I said it doesn't really make sense. You would think that people want the social proof of reviews before they would buy something like that. But I haven't found that to be the case. Yes, your conversion rate might go up a bit and your PPC might be a little more effective, but you're still going to get sales regardless. Chris, for you, how do you handle your finances and cash flow? Well, we have a giant Excel spreadsheet that shows all future orders, all balance payments when they're due, shipment freight forwarder fees when those are due, and then also in there is like the income from the business, and we just keep an eye on it. and I always try to make sure I have money at the ready. I talked about this in a live stream yesterday in my group, but I like to have, you know, access, whether it's a line of credit, whether it's credit card or something like that, just in case there is a pinch. I can take care of whatever needs to be paid. Tamara says, "Who's your dentist? Your teeth are so white." I don't even know his name, but I don't think he helped me with my teeth. I think that's a personal thing more than the dentist. Hussein, hey Tim, how are you? Love your teaching content. Thanks, man. Are you going to have lightning deals on your Amazon mastery course this Prime Day? You know what? In the past, I did a Black Friday sale. I'm not really thinking I'm going to do that this year. And the reason for that is I have had so many of my students say, Tim, never lower the price again, never run a sale on anything. We want to, you know, because the value is there. I think just in software, like one of my students, he does like $100,000 a month. He told me that I just saved him $2,800 in software by contacting somebody that I recommend and saying like, hey, we got to do something a little better for my students, and save him $2,800. So unfortunately, I feel the value is there, and I think I'm going to just stick with that. So for the time being, no sales on the course. So if you're waiting for a sale and you're like, you know what, I'm going to wait for that, I wouldn't wait. I'd get in there now. Mr. Saha, I have a question. What are the main reasons for Amazon account suspension? Woo! Well, there's quite a few. I would say the top ones are just doing stupid stuff, to be honest, black hat stuff. Paying for reviews or like not putting accurate information in, or just doing something sketchy. Like, don't do anything sketchy. It's short-term thinking. We're long-term thinkers here at Private Label Masters, all right? Also, don't be selling garbage products. That's another thing. If you're getting crazy amount of returns or things like that, you know, bring something nice to the marketplace that actually helps people. How to compete with your one supplier. That's tough, man. That's tough. You know, if you have a supplier who is trying to compete with you, that hurts. That hurts in the ticker. I'm like, hey, I thought we were more than this. I thought we had something going on for the long term. If you find yourself competing with your supplier, I ditch them. To be honest, I go find another supplier, and then I try to make that other supplier hurt. Even though they probably have better pricing than you can have, but man, you know Amazon, okay? So I would tell them, I'm gonna quit ordering from you. I'm gonna go in every single Facebook group that has Amazon sellers. I'm gonna tell them never to purchase from you. I'm gonna post your Alibaba account in every single Facebook group with Amazon sellers, and I'm gonna leave and source from another seller, source from another factory. All right, and I'm gonna leave negative reviews on your Alibaba account. So yes, sometimes it is okay to go savage mode, but that's what I would do. If someone's messing with me like that, I don't play. Like, and I don't recommend you just being like, oh yeah, you take half the sales, I take half the sales. I'm like, hey, are we long-term thinkers here? Or are we short-term thinkers here? You're trying to pick up an extra couple sales, or are you trying to support me, who will support your entire factory and all your workers inside? Norwell, what's the name of your course? It's the Private Label Masters course. If you're interested, click the link in the description, privatelabelmasters.com/case study. Watch the video, book a call with myself or my team, fill out the survey, and if you're a good fit, we'd love to talk with you. Michael, I've been hearing about a requirement that FNSKU labels should now match the text of the listing title. Any thoughts on this? I have not heard that. Typically, your FNSKU correlates with your title already. Like if you go to print that out, it'll be like a short and abbreviated form of your FNSKU. I mean, of your title. Some people like Photoshop and take out the title part of it, but I really wouldn't worry about it. I've yet to hear anybody say anything. Jordan Rowe, what's up, Jordan? What is best for ranking? Title, then search terms. I'm hearing description isn't that effective. I always say title is number one. Title is number one in the beginning of your title. Like if you have a keyword, you're like, man, I really want to wait for that keyword. I put it at the very beginning of your title and go for that. All right. So yeah, I'd go title, then I do bullets and back end kind of even, and then description at the bottom. Description still is indexed. And if you have enhanced brand content, typically you can put, even though your description doesn't show, you can put keywords in your description, and a lot of times it'll still index on Amazon. So there's a little tip there. JT Franco said, what's up, Tim? What's up, JT? What software do you like to use for taxes? So I'm kind of fortunate on this end because my father is a certified public accountant. So, but we use Quicken. A lot of people use QuickBooks. One of my first student ever, who's doing over $1 million in sales, he uses GoDaddy bookkeeping, and he swears by it. In fact, I even have a video of it that I'm gonna eventually put in my course. So check that one out. It syncs with your Seller Central, everything. Would love it if you surprised us coming Prime Day, then I'll be able to join 2 months sooner than planned. I understand. All right, Corey Doney. For your initial order of a product, new product, how many units do you recommend bringing in? All right, so there's two schools of thought with this too. Some people are like real nervous, and they only order a small amount, like a test buy, and they're like, oh wow, Amazon is real, this product is good, now I'll go and buy a larger quantity. I never like that because, yeah, you may have just proved Amazon works to yourself, or the product idea works for yourself, but you know who else you proved it to? You proved it to sellers like me. You proved it to other sellers like who are in this YouTube live right now. And then guess what? Now you got to reorder and then ship it, and then who knows how that 1 month, 2 months, maybe a little more than 2 months, and by that time competition has smelled the new niche or the product that you brought, and perhaps they're coming in with an even better product than you did. So what I like to do is the second line of thought, and that is ordering. So take the top like 3 to 5 guys, and I'm always aiming for top 3. Okay, I don't aim to be number 5. I aim for top 3. So what I do is I look at like the top 5 guys. I get an average of how much they're selling per month. Then I take a calculation of production time, which you'll get from your supplier, shipping time, which you can also get from your freight forwarder or your supplier, they'll know, and then like a 2 to 3 week buffer based on the daily sales of that average of your competitors, and then that's what I'll order. Sometimes it's a lot of units, but hey, I don't want to risk going out of stock. How do I put this? Also, if you have a small order and you bring it in, then you sell it out, guess what? You're gonna have to do a second launch. That's more money wasted for the peace of mind. Now again, this might make you feel a little more comfortable after you do it the first, second, third time, and you're like, okay, now I have the confidence to really go in and order a lot of inventory. But the opportunity cost that you lose by going out of stock is tremendous. It's painful. One of the inventory forecast softwares I use, whenever I'm out of stock, it tells me how much I'm losing because I went out of stock. It's painful, but it's a pain that you need to see and you need to hear. All right. Pre-ready. What's up, man? I'm from Australia. Which is better when comparing Australia FBA or US FBA? What do you recommend? So I would say, how much capital do you have? If you don't have a ton of capital, go into Australia. It's an emerging market. There's not as much competition there. I know FBA just recently opened up there, and PPC. So if you don't have very much capital, I would say start in Australia. It's right in your backyard. I bet shipping is so cheap because it's right next to China if you're sourcing from China. But if you have more money, more capital, and you want to like make a ton of money because that's where all the traffic is, I got to go US FBA. I'm US FBA 90%. I sell some in like UK, Germany, Canada, Mexico, but whenever I'm looking at new products, I'm not even looking at products for these other markets. I'm looking at products that are going to sell like crazy because that's where the traffic is on the US marketplace. But again, it's all based on your circumstances, your situation. Michael, in the back end fields, is it necessary to repeat a word? For example, the use of the word ball, beach ball, red ball, blue ball, is enough to mention it once. Hey, I like the mention of the beach ball. There's someone who's watching this right now that always uses that example. No, you do not need to repeat it. Just one time. Just one time. All right. Avery Simon, are you doing any business to business via Amazon? Yeah, I am. If you just go and set up a business within your Seller Central, and you can have special pricing for other businesses, and you'll notice you'll get a lot of business orders. Gene Side. What's a safe minimum capital to get started in this field? How much money do we need to start? I always tell people 3,000 to 6,000 minimum. This is not some... Okay. One thing real quick to remember. This is a legitimate business opportunity. If you were to go and start any business, a restaurant, any franchise, anything like that, look into the cost of starting a business like that. It's thousands of dollars. Now, let's say you want to get a really good job, a 9 to 5. Well, you got to get an education, okay? And how much is the education? It's thousands of dollars and years of your life, okay? So now when it comes to starting an Amazon business, put it in the same category as those things. Don't put it in the category of garage sale, onesie, twosie, throw it up on eBay, get rich. Don't put it in that category. Put it into something that you're like, okay, I need an education, and I need capital, and I need time, okay? With that in mind, a minimum amount of capital, I would say $3,000 to $6,000 a minimum. If you have more than that, hey, the more you have, the better opportunity you have at success. Now you may say $3,000 to $6,000, I have $500 to my name. Take this time to do some introspection and look into where your money is going, why it's going there, and how to make it stop going there. Does that mean you need to stop drinking alcohol? Does that mean you need to pick up a side job like Uber or DoorDash? Hey, there are tons of ways to get hustles, and if you really want it, I always ask people, how bad do you want it? If you really want it, you can find a way to come up with $3,000 to $6,000 in just a couple months. Go on Craigslist and just go under like jobs, and there's people like, hey, I need to haul trash this weekend for $15 an hour. Go there, haul that trash, and realize you're making some improvement in your private label business. All right. Okay. You know what time it is? It's time to give away a copy of Slide Edge. All right. So, the question that we're going to ask, and first person to answer wins a copy. I have to scroll down to these comments. Hold on one second. So we left off on Gene. Okay, so the question. You guys ready? You guys ready? Want to copy this book? The question that we're going to ask is, and this is for people who've been following my channel. That's how I'll know. The question is, what was my last 9 to 5 type job? I'm looking in the comments. What was my last 9 to 5 job? What was it? Where did I work? First one who writes in the comments, you get a copy of this book. What was my last 9 to 5 job? Now I know there's a delay, so I'm just gonna wait here for a second. So real estate, I don't put it as 9 to 5. Real estate's more of like a self-employed type thing, but good guess. Oh snap, here we go, here we go. They're coming in. Okay, so the winner is Bill McDowell. All right, Bill, hit me up on Facebook, and I'll get you a copy of the book. Okay? You know what? Let's give out another one. Let's give out another one. The question is, again, these are people following my channel. The next question is, how did I find my first product? How did I find my first product? Write that in the comments. And this shows you're a loyal subscriber if you know this answer. And I'll get you also a copy of the Slight Edge. Cindy says, I already have a copy of the book though. Well, Cindy, you weren't first, so don't worry about it. All right, I will wait for that. So, how did I find my first product? All right, we're giving this one a. I'm giving this one to Saffron Love. Right, Saffron Love, which is from a supplier suggestion. You're right. I talked to my supplier. I was looking at a product, and I said, hey, do you have any other products? And they suggested another one. So hit me up, Saffron, on Facebook, and I'll also get you a copy of the Slight Edge. All right, let's get back to the questions. Where are we at here? Last person was Gene. Okay, let me find that question. There we go. Okay, so we're cooking again. What do I send to my supplier to print barcodes on my product? I have EA in and it generated an SKU. Okay, so a simple thing, just go into your inventory page and click the link next to your product, and then go to the far right in the drop down menu. I think it says print labels, and that should give you a copy or one of your FN SKUs. Fire that over to them and they can take care of that. So just put that FN SKU on there. Corey, is it okay to get friends and family to get your first reviews? How many would you recommend trying to get that? How removed are the people you are asking from? So some people do this. I don't do this. I think I have probably like way back in the day. I asked like 2 people. But I have always tried to build my business like in a way that's scalable. And so asking friends to do my first free reviews isn't always a scalable method when you're trying to come out with a lot of products. So I was like, hey, I got to find something that works, even if it's like a little more expensive or whatever. I need something that works that I can do on a large scale. So that's why I always start out with PPC, even with 0 reviews, and I'll get sales, and I got a good follow-up sequence and a nice insert asking for a review, and that's how I get my first reviews. So I have heard of people doing that. I personally don't. If you do that, try to make sure they're pretty far removed. You never ship them nothing. They don't have the same last name. They never logged into your computers, anything like that. Amazon's pretty smart. Dragos Ursa. How much is a good conversion rate in your point of view? Ooh, so this all depends on the category, the price of your product. What I've noticed for my products, all my items that are, over $150, 150 to 200, conversion rates are a lot lower, sub 10%, and that's normal, right? When you're getting higher priced items, people like to, look, think about it, come back, look, think about it, then maybe buy. Okay, so if your price is lower, I mean like sub 30 or something, I have some, like my highest conversion rate is like 50%, which is insane. But what I focus on, I don't always focus on like what is like a good conversion rate. I just try to improve whatever conversion rate I have right now. And so you can improve your conversion rate by different title, different pictures, different copy, things like that. So, look inside of your FBA reports under unit session percentage. That's your conversion rate. I talk about this on the channel. Go back like a month. See what it is for that month. All right? Then make a change to maybe your main image and then track it. See if your conversion rate improves. I recommend using Splitly, split.ly to do that. Some other people like different ones, but basically compete against yourself. If you're high, all I can say is high priced products have lower conversion rates. Okay. If someone came to me and said, hey Tim, I have a 20% conversion rate, and my product's like $25, I'd be like, cool, well, how much is it making you? Have you tried improving your conversion rate? Oh, yes, you have. What have you done? Oh, you've done new title, new images, new bullets. Then I guess that 20% is pretty good, man. Do you use any launch services or ManyChat Facebook? All the above. I've kind of used everything. I do a lot of PPC launches though. But yeah, all the above. Within my course, I'm actually like renewing the launch section right now, and I'm gonna put some other different recommended services in there. Can you talk about your SellerCon experience? Yeah, for sure. I'd never been to a Amazon seller conference in my life, but I would say it served three purposes for me. One was I got to learn a few new things, quite a bit of new things to implement. Two, I got to go and find certain people who've helped me in my business and say thank you to them in person. Even if they don't even know who I was, maybe they made a tool and it helped me, or did a training way back in the day and it helped me. I was able to go find a few of them and say thank you. That felt good to me. And then third, I was able to help others. So, you guys know who I am because obviously you're watching this, but there's a lot of people at SellerCon that are straight up ASM students, and so they don't really know much outside that bubble. So, at lunch I was able to sit down with random people at these lunches and just kind of help them out, and so that was a lot of fun. Of course, I didn't pitch a course or anything like that. I just was trying to help them out. So that was a lot of fun. Again, I remember what it was like to be new, and when someone gives you some time, it's amazing. It's invaluable. Would I go again? Yeah, I would. I would go again. And I took really good notes. Man, I wish I had this. I wish I had my notepad, but I took really good notes. Some big takeaways, one takeaway that I will tell you, this is for, relates to my business, which is a little bit, it's not so new, but I have systems in place, but I need better systems, right? I need like every single aspect of what each of my assistants do recorded, so that it's a standard operating procedure, or SOP as the acronym is. And so that way I can move different virtual assistants up, and then the training process is very smooth for new people that are replacing them. Or if one, gets a job working for Bill Gates or something, or Mark Cuban, I say congratulations, but you have to be replaced. Instead of me having to train them again, if I have some really good SOPs set up, it's going to make it a lot easier. So that, and another big thing for myself that I learned there is just having a very well-defined roles. I have quite a few assistants who, they're like a Swiss Army knife. But if I can hone their attention on specific things a little better, I think we'll be a lot more productive, and it'll make some more money from that. But yeah, I recommend going to SellerCon. It was cool. Buy your ticket early. I was able to get mine for 50% off. It was like $600. People who waited till the last minute, it was like $1,400. So for $600, it was a good bang for the buck. Plus, I stayed a little bit longer, and I went to the Grand Canyon, which is nice. That was my last video, which I recommend looking at. Butterflies Trading Kim. I like that picture, man. You look shocked. You're like, he's answering my question. Just kidding with you, man. How do you utilize ManyChat? So one way you can use it is to I'll just throw this real quick out there. Is you can do like a treasure hunt with them. So what I mean by that is they enter your sequence, and you say, hey, you have two options. One option is to get the product at 50% off, and you get a direct link, or you can get the product at 80% off, but it's a little treasure hunt, and you can kind of walk them through doing a search, find, buy that way, and get some sales that way. So that's one way that I've used ManyChat. Ricardo, I just saved $2,800. Can't beat the value. Yeah, Ricardo's the dude who did it. Who saved some money from being in the course. Hi Tim, is there a way to prevent competitors from stealing your listing images? If you're not brand registered, would a product photography invoice suffice if I provided it into Amazon? So there's a few things you can do. You can copyright your images. It takes a little bit of time, but people can't steal them, and Amazon recognizes that not trademark, but a copyright. Look up DMCA. And another thing you can try to do is make sure you have a website and then upload those images to your website. And then when you contact Amazon, don't be complaining about like, they copy my images off my listing. Amazon doesn't care usually. But if you say, hey, here's our company, here's our website, we noticed this person on Amazon has stolen our images. I've seen them take down or go after people that way and force them to go take the images down. Demirbek. I started an FBA, but my niche got quickly saturated before I was able to start selling. Should I concentrate more on PPC and try to get more reviews? Yeah, go crazy on those guys, man. Go crazy on those guys. Lower your price, go crazy on PPC, and push some of them out. That's what I would do, and get some more reviews. Otherwise, if you don't have the money to like go crazy like that, then you might have to just start looking for another product. Is using Helium-10 gems product URL linking, including keyword, considered against Amazon TOS? No, it's not. Don't even worry about that, man. Don't worry at all. Everybody uses them all the time, and not one person has ever said they were suspended from using a link from Helium-10 gems page. Mr. McGinstein. Do you use launch services at all anymore? And if not, is that just because you do Facebook ads, not because you're afraid of account getting suspended? So I'm not afraid of getting an account suspended. You know, it was funny, right when that whole like a lot of people getting suspended for launch services, I like to always just test different services and just be like, hey, I did like 400 units at 90% off from ZonJump or something like that, and nothing happened to my account. So the big takeaways for anybody wanting to use a launch service is make sure you're getting sales other ways besides just a launch service. Make sure you have some PPC going, get some regular sales, and don't, do 90% off. Do less. And what you'll notice right now is a lot of these launch services like Viral Launch, ZonJump, they don't even allow you to do 90% off anymore. And that's great. You know why it's great? Because now you don't have to lose so much when you do use a launch service. Also, those people who are buying your product and wanting to resell on your listing, they have way less margins. So usually if you wanted to do like 70% off, nobody would buy it because they're used to 90% off. Well, after this whole, whatever happened, now the standard is like 70% discount, and now people will buy it for that much. So I kind of like it. Been consistently using Feedback Wiz and I have 33 to 37% open rates, but I just can't buy or view. I use their templates, but still no luck. Any suggestions? So I would say try using humor in your follow-up sequence. So be silly. Be like, so just test different things. And one of them is humor, okay? You're going to get an audience who doesn't care about humor, and you're going to get an audience who's like, oh, that was funny. This guy's funny. I'm going to leave him a review. I don't know. I'd be going on there being like, let me think. What's an example of humor? Maybe just have your thing say like, if you keep reading, someone's life could be in danger or something. Just something crazy. And a lot of times that whole crazy thing, it works for people. So test that out. 33 to 37% open rates is pretty good. I think the most mine is up to like mid 40s. But try humor. I've been getting this one a lot lately. Which app do I use for calculating profit? I use a couple different ones, but my favorite one, I'm gonna make a video on here pretty soon, and I'll just post that on the channel, so you'll see then. All right. Can I offer a product insert asking customers to send me a screenshot of review, get a free gift or 90% off code? I don't even think you need to ask this question, my friend. That is incentivizing a review in its own way. So I would steer clear from that. Any of these types of things. Remember, We're in this business for the long term. And we don't want to have short-term thinking. And when we do those things like that for reviews, that's what that is. So I highly recommend not to do something like that. Planning on creating a variation of a bundled item but without the bundle. Should I create a separate listing or make it a child? Thing is, child product is an upgrade to primary product but without bundle. I would start it as a child. If it starts performing very well, then break it off. I have read that Amazon is now requiring the title to be a certain amount of characters, also brand name first and title or end. Any thoughts? Thanks. So I love it when I see these comments, because most likely you read this in a Facebook group, and Facebook group is full of people who don't sell at all. And the way I prove this type of information is I say, hey Michael, are you in any Facebook groups? And you'll probably say yes. And I say, Michael, do you ever answer other people's questions about FBA? And you'll probably say yes. And I say, Michael, are you selling a bunch? And you'll probably say, not too much, or maybe I don't have a product up yet. That is what Facebook groups are full of. They're full of other people who are like, don't really know, and they're, spreading rumors. But here I am to clear it up. Amazon, I think it's like 200 characters. It depends on your category. And you do not have to have your brand name at the very beginning. Sometimes they'll switch it to that because that's what they prefer, but then you can always switch it back. How do I rank for a word? The word is patent, so I can't keep it in my listing. Sometimes you can get away with throwing that in your backend keywords for a little bit, just so you start indexing, and then after you index, then run a launch service at that keyword, and aim some PPC at it. You're my top Amazon channel. Let's keep doing it. Thanks, bro. Astro Kid Cuddy, do you plan on eventually selling one of your brands for 8 or 9 figures down the road? Who knows, man? Who knows? I don't have anything on the near horizon to do that. But if that's what comes my way one day, that would be awesome. All right, I'm trying to fly through these. How can I get a real customer review? Follow-up sequence on your sales. SellerCon, what do you recommend? I would recommend Ray Thompson, another amazing student. So crazy thing about Ray, if you go to the link below, it has Ray's testimonial. Ray was targeting like a competitors who were doing 250 sales a month, and so he ordered 500, and guess what? He sold 500 in the month. So he's having some crazy success. But his question is, Tim, running PPC in some words are not getting any clicks, even though you are bidding 10 times the suggested bid. What do you do? Start a new ad group, and then target those keywords. Because sometimes, like if you have quite a few keywords, Amazon will just like focus on like just a portion of them, right? And then you have a bunch that don't get any impressions. So take those and start a new ad group, and then start bidding on there and see if Amazon will start like running some budget towards it. Did you buy a house? Yes, I did. I have bought a house. Last year I bought one. Hey Tim, shout out to your boys at Costco, Roanoke Park, Chris and Dennis. Shout out to my guys. You know what? Costco did a lot of good things for me. When I was getting yelled at, pushing cars for 8 hours in the rain, that's what gave me the motivation to find something else. So thank you, Costco. One day I'll go back in there and see what's up to all the peeps. Cindy, hey Tim, I'm doing some product research. Right now, through Keepa, I came across some products, they have the buy box. Products that have the buy box. Should I stay away? I'm probably gonna need a little more information on this one, Cindy. Through Keepa, I came across some products that have the buy box. Should I stay away? Yeah, ask this in the VIP group, Cindy, and then I'll give you a better answer, because I'm not following it too closely. How do you gauge that a niche is competitive? I gauge off of who the competitors are. Like if you're going to go play a pickup basketball game, how do you know if it's competitive? Well, you look at who's playing, and you see some dude doing alley-oop windmill dunks. You're like, whoa, do I want to get in this game? Am I going to be a poster? Are my ankles going to get broken? However, if you go out and it's elementary school kids playing, even if there's a ton of them, you're like, hey, you know what? I got this. I'm like Shaq. Okay? That's kind of how I do it. So look at them. Look at their listings. Look at their reviews. Look how many sales they're getting. If they're a big brand, if they're name brand, if they're sold by Amazon, those are the types of things that I look for to see if it's competitive. Have I ever noticed that going hard with PPC on a new product works against getting good keyword ranking? Not initially. Not initially. You know, there's a lot of crazy things. I've seen products where I slowed down PPC and I noticed I started ranking way better. I noticed other ones that like I wasn't ranking very well and I cranked up PPC and there I was cooking. So it just depends. All I can say is test it. A lot of people are afraid to test turning off PPC, but I say test it. Michael, thanks again, Tim. Is it still okay to use UPC barcode or GS1 now necessary? Pros, cons? I personally don't use GS1. Haven't had an issue. 90 plus products. But if there is an issue, I'll for sure let you guys know. That's my personal opinion. Chris, I'm launching 3 products in the EU. Skincare. Each has 2 size variations, 4 ounce, 8 ounce. I only want to launch using PPC, so no giveaways. How would you handle the PPC aggressive launch? So first off, Chris, you may only want to use PPC because it sounds awesome and you're afraid of giveaways. I don't know what the reason is, but don't rule those out, okay? Just saying that. Don't rule those out. Aggressive PPC launch is I would find the top keywords that your competitors are ranked for and start an exact match campaign and do some higher bids and run a lot of budget at that. I would also set up a broad campaign, an automatic campaign, and a product targeting campaign. And then, you know, just manage it. And you're going to have higher bids and higher budgets if you want to go aggressive. Martin Mart, I wake up with the fear that I'll see my account suspended. Do you have a team or a lawyer that handles issues that you might face at your Amazon account? All right, so Martin, one thing I want to tell you. Can't be worrying about stuff like that, man. Unless you're doing something shady, then you got to worry, okay? But typically you don't have to worry about that kind of thing. Because check it out. It's like you die twice, right? You're killing yourself every day you wake up like that. And then if you actually get suspended, then you killed yourself again, okay? Only kill yourself once. Only worry about suspension if it actually happens. There are a ton of people out there who can help with your account if it gets suspended. So, you know, eGrowth Partners is one. There's a bunch of them out there. How to prepare and maximize big Amazon selling days: Prime Day, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Q4. A few things. Make sure you have adequate inventory. Sign up for a lightning deal if it's possible. Make sure you're ranked high for your keywords by the time those big days come around. And those are the main things. If you do those things, then you're typically going to make the most out of those big days. I'm literally about to start my own e-commerce store. Best advice for starting out? Yeah, commit. Commit to it. Don't make it a side hustle. Commit to it. The reason people have a hard time losing weight is because commitment, right? A lot of times relations fail because of commitment. And if your e-commerce business is going to work, you need to commit to it. You need to work hard, and no excuses. Successful people do what unsuccessful people won't do. So rise up to the occasion and work your hardest. Do you believe in hopping on someone's private label listing? No, I don't. That's a quick way to get suspended. You don't want to be a hijacker. Let's see here. I have a big product to send to FBA, but I can't add the logo into the item while adding a logo to just the box stop piggybackers? Well, Gary Vaynerchuk, Mr. Gary V. Nothing will stop them unless you're completely like brand gated. But that's one of the things, like, you want to be able to find a way to show that your product is yours. And a lot of times having your logo on your product is what differentiates that to Amazon, to show that someone's, selling a knockoff. At least have the logo on your product packaging. And if you cannot have it on the product itself, then have it on the product packaging. My fees is really high because I think product dimensions. How can I fix it? Take your ASIN, go into seller support, and ask for a cubic scan. And they will remeasure your item. I like this guy. Hey bro, why my question was skipped? I'm following you from a long time. Man, there's a lot of things in here. Questions. So write it again. I'll try to get to it. Any photographers you recommend? They're all in my my private label masters course, and they're getting booked nowadays because a lot of people love using them. Let's see here. You demand 10 when launching with a low price of rank. How often and when do you raise your price? I just start raising it once I rank top 5, and then I'll raise it like $1 at a time, and then I'll see where the market says I can stop. Do you recommend starting out with lower priced products if you have a low budget? Yeah, but mainly you got to focus on like what's the monthly revenue from the items to make sure you can keep it in stock. So sometimes you're gonna have an expensive item that only sells a few and won't cost that much. And sometimes you have a low price product that sells 1 million of them and you still can't afford that. So make sure you pay close attention to like how much are you going to need to keep that puppy in stock. After ranking, do you recommend not using PPC? Nah, I always try to have some type of PPC going. No. You can't rank #1 for every keyword. And check it out. So think about it this way. Let's say you rank #1 organically, okay? And then let's say you turn down your bids on PPC so you're showing top of second page for sponsored. You see how you can be seen twice now and also have a lower bid for PPC? That's a Tim tip. How can you differentiate which products are easier to private label? That's kind of tough. Fragile items are a little harder. Topical items, supplements, parts, things with a lot of moving parts, those are harder to private label. They're just a pain. Do you ever use automatic PPC or only manual? Yes, I always use automatic PPC. Good insights. I'm at 4 million, including EU, and some of these questions and answers are still very interesting. We try to keep it high level here, private label masters. Bilbo Baggins. Love that name, man. Bilbo Baggins. You should win a free book just for that name. Tim, any recommendations or tips for bundling many cheap products into one single kit in terms of sourcing supplier compatibility? Thank you, Godspeed Sensei. I recognize this picture because I think it's in the VIP group. Bundling many cheap products. Well, I always like to find the main product that's in the bundle, and I try to work through them to find the complementary items. Sometimes I'll go look at the complementary items, find the prices, and then I'll go to find the main item and then tell them, hey, here's the supplier, I want to work through you, here's the prices, you make it all happen, and they'll take care of you. Oh, I love this. Tim, you ignored my question. Man, that makes me want to ignore it again. I validated my sample. Now I want to know whether I should negotiate MOQ or price per unit first. Let me think. So I would go after I don't know. I kind of feel this is the same thing. Like, so ask them minimum order quantity. Try to figure that out first, and then you can see like, hey, can you even afford it? And then start working on the price after that. But yeah, start with the MOQ. Sorry for ignoring you, man. Forgive me. Your thoughts on product inserts for reviews. Do it on every single product. Nothing too fancy, something nice. Do you still recommend Speedy? Yes, sir. Do you run Facebook ads for Amazon products or only Amazon ads? How do you optimize campaigns? Yes, I do run Facebook ads for Amazon products, but only during launches. I haven't had too much success like getting full price sales from advertising on Facebook. I'd rather spend that money elsewhere, like on Amazon ads. How do I optimize the campaigns? That's kind of a big question, a broad question, but you know, profitable keywords, move them up. Break even minimum ACoS, move them up. Negative exact them out of the one below it. Rinse, repeat. Do you prefer a launch service? I tried Facebook plus ManyChat many times. Always seems to not move to rank at 70-80% off. Man, launch services is like just no thought and it's simple. So I have no problem with launch services. Can I sell on Amazon.com from India? I'm already a seller on Amazon India. There's an option, but just want to be sure before I invest. Yeah, just reach out to seller support and ask them if you have access to that. Joe Christopher, you said that for launch you recommend exact, broad, auto, and product targeting. After the launch and once ranked, will you continue all these or turn some off? How would you decide? So what I would do is I keep most of these on, but I start lowering the bids on some of them, especially the ones that are costing a lot of money, and I see if it affects my sales. If it doesn't, then why do I need it? That's how I view it. And that's what I do. So just look at the keywords that you're ranked really well for and that you're spending a lot on PPC, turn down those ones, the bids, and see if it affects your sales. Desmond, I was out of stock for 2 weeks and now there are a whole lot more competitors. I'm having a hard time. Get my BSR in top ranked thing. How would you handle the situation? I would go aggressive mode. I would sell that thing at a loss and do PPC. Do whatever it takes to get there and do it quick. And then raise your price once you're at the back of the top, and then never go out of stock again. This is a tough question. What would be a minimal safe amount of capital to start a business considering reorder for $5 product? It all depends on how much it's selling. You know, if you have a product that's $5 and you sell one a month, then you need $10 to get 2 months worth. All right, so you gotta take that into consideration. I recommend rewinding the video, looking for a question in regards to capital and how much to order, and I answer this question a little more in depth. What do you put in your backend if you already use all the top keywords in the title, bullets, description? I find other ones, other keywords. How do you structure PPC campaigns for a product with 3 size variations? Do you run ads exclusively on the smallest, cheapest, or do you run several campaigns? How about ad groups? Put one in each ad group, all in the same campaign. You can even target all the same keywords, and then target obviously ones for the different size variations, and then just see which ones perform the best. And whichever ones perform the best, keep those ones going. If they're all child variations on the same one, then just turn down the ones that aren't selling, so aren't performing as well. That's what I would do. Ray Thompson, Tim, your thoughts about bringing additional products into your niche so that the USP is similar for each product because that is what a customer buys. Do it, especially if it's adding more value in some way or the profit margins. Take over the entire niche, Ray. You got this. All right, this is the last question. Guys. I've been on here about an hour, right? Yeah, an hour. I'm going to fire out this last question that I have on the screen. Otherwise, I apologize. And then I'll talk a little bit about randomness. How would you suggest approaching copywriting for my first product listing? I would hire a professional. That is what I would do. Hire a professional. And don't be cheap. I don't go on Fiverr for the professionals. If you're like, I have to write it myself, connect with your person on emotion. Okay? Connect with emotion talk about benefits and not only features. Take them on a journey of them and the product. What's it going to be like when they use it? Scare them a little bit away from other products. Show them why yours is the one they need. Tell them and show them how it's going to benefit their life and impact them. And then sprinkle in some features, and you got yourself some good copy, all right? Now, I told you guys that before I left, I would show you where my sales were at. It was at 19,076 at the beginning of the live stream. And now it's at 23,000. So I also told you guys, let's see here. I'll tell you what my profit was. It was at $4,000 before when I started this. And now it is at 4,720. So I talked to you guys. I made an extra $720. I gave away a few copies of a great book. If you did not win a free copy of that book, make sure to get it. The Slight Edge, help you out. Compound interest of making good decisions. All right, Marok, I'll answer your question. You said, please, Tim. I found a product doing 3,000 a month with 0 reviews, bestseller doing 9,000 with 4 reviews. What is your suggestion, sir? My suggestion is this is going to be get competitive quickly. And if you want to get into there, you got to get into it quickly, all right? And make sure you have money. Because if one's doing 9,000, okay, let's say the bestseller is doing $9,000. Let's say the product costs you $5,000 a month. You're going to need a minimum of like $13,000 to source this thing without going out of stock. So make sure you have money for it. Okay? There's no point in getting into this product, but you don't have enough money to keep it in stock. Those numbers are great, no reviews, all that stuff is awesome, but if you don't have money to keep it in stock, then you're just going to get pummeled by another guy who's in this chat box right now who has money to keep it in stock. Okay? Let me see here. What other books? Here's another book that I am reading. Atomic Habits. As I read these books, I'll make sure to bring them. Oh, here I'll tell you a good point out of this book, right? I just read this last night. All right, story time with Tim at Private Label Masters. So my last video, I talked about. Now I'm just gonna rant to you guys a little bit, so hopefully it's not too boring. Last video, I talked about how the Grand Canyon wasn't made overnight, right? The Grand Canyon wasn't made overnight. It took time, right? And same thing with building an Amazon business. It takes time. It takes a lot of good decisions over a long period of time. And a lot of times you don't see the impact of your decisions, of taking in knowledge, of trying to execute, of doing product research, of going through all of that. You don't really see, the monetary impact of it. It's because it takes time and it takes that persistence, and the compounding effect of all of that equals a beautifully amazing, scalable Amazon business. All right, I'm going to read you this one little part of this book that goes on to it. It says, imagine that you have an ice cube sitting on the table in front of you. The room is cold and you can see your breath. It's currently 25 degrees. Ever so slowly, the room begins to heat up. 26 degrees, 27, 28. The ice cube is still sitting on the table in front of you. 29 degrees, 30, 31. Still nothing has happened. Then 32 degrees. The ice begins to melt. A 1 degree shift, seemingly no different from the temperature increases before it, has unlocked a huge change. Breakthrough moments are often the result of many previous actions, which build up the potential required to unleash a major change. This pattern shows up everywhere. Cancer spends 80% of its life undetectable, then takes over the body in months. Bamboo can barely be seen for the first 5 years as it builds extensive root systems underground before exploding 90 feet into the air within 6 weeks. Similarly, habits often appear to make no difference until you cross a critical threshold and unlock a new level of performance. So, what can you take from that? Keep doing the right things consistently. And although you may not see it in your bank account, you are growing some crazy roots right now. And something amazing is going to shoot up out of that. And hopefully that's your Amazon business. You know, even if you go through this whole process of learning about Amazon and you don't have an amazing Amazon business, you are really exercising that muscle of learning how to learn, all right? Taking in new knowledge. And that whole mindset of an entrepreneur is going to take you places in life, okay? So continue taking in knowledge. Joe Christopher says, was that your net profit you showed? Yeah, that's net profit for today. And again, here are my current, look at refreshed on screen. Let's see here. We're at $1,010,000 for the past 30 days. 126% increase from last year. So if you've been following the channel, my first 8 months selling on Amazon, I did $820,000. All right, it's first 8 months. The following 12 months, so this is 2017, I sold 4.2 million. The next 12 months, 2018, I sold 8 million. And that $8 million year is what I'm increasing already by over 100%. So this year, 12, 15, who knows? But my ultimate goal is by the end of 2020 to hit 20 million in sales on Amazon for that calendar year. Will I hit it? Who knows? But I know one thing's for sure. I'm going to help a ton of my students quit their 9-to-5 jobs and kill it on Amazon. We already have, I don't know how many who are now doing over 100,000. When they first came into the group as students, they only had a couple products and weren't doing much, okay? So again, if you found value in this, this is just one live stream, okay? This is one live stream to you guys. I do this every single Monday for an hour to an hour and a half in my student group. And we got questions that range the whole spectrum of things. And there are things that, I don't know if you noticed, but I kind of deflect and skirt around a little bit on a public YouTube live stream, but in the VIP group, I let it all hang out, all right? I tell everything behind the curtain, anything new I'm trying in my account, I let everybody know, okay? So if you're interested in learning from me, click the link in the description below, www.privatelabelmasters.com/case study. Watch the video, book a call with myself or my team, fill out the survey. If you're a good fit, we'd love to work with you and have you a part of our crew. All right, you guys, thanks for your time. Remember, it's not okay to be an average Amazon seller when you can be a master by implementing what you learned in this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.